As we told you a moment ago, City of San Diego water bills have doubled in the past 5 years. The increase has generated millions of dollars in cash reserves, money that is supposed to be used to fix aging infrastructure. Joining me is Roger Bailey, Director of Public Utilities, City of San Diego. Thank you for being here, Mr. Bailey.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So the big question really, why is it taking so long or this long to fix water pipes that people have been paying for?
Yeah, I appreciate. Back in '07, we made the case to have the rate adjustment, and we said we were going to replace pipelines, and we said we were going to build and upgrade our water treatment plants. I think that it's important that the public understand that the 3 water treatment plants that we said we were going to upgrade, we have completed those. Those are the major projects in the CIP, or the Capital Improvement Program. In addition to that, we said that we were going to replace pipelines. We said we were going to replace 75 miles of pipeline, and today we have either awarded or completed 100 miles of those pipelines. In fact, we have completed construction of about 58 miles of pipeline of the amount that we talked about. So I think that it's important that the public understand that we have executed and we are continuing to do that. We never said that the projects were going to be completed by fiscal year 11.
Well, I do believe that the report goes on to say that out of the 111 projects that were supposed to be completed in 2011, about a third have been completed, 20-something of them that have been canceled or on hold, but still quite a number that haven't been completed, yet this money is in an account.
Yeah, I think that it's easy to itemize the list of projects and figure out which one have been completed, and by that measure say that we are behind. But if you look at it in a different way, if you look at the most expensive part of the program and you ask yourself, have we executed or have we completed most of those projects, and the answer would be yes. So, you know, there are several ways of looking at this thing. If you go down the list of projects, and all projects are not made equally, but if you go down the list of projects, that's one measure. But if you look at the total amount of pipes that we said we were going to construct, we have completed most of those, and we have completed our water treatment plants that we talked about just a few moments ago.
So the second part of the story is the money, obviously, where I've had emails in the past several months from people who say, look at my water bill and how much it's increased, and they want to know why. When they hear that there are hundreds of millions of dollars in an account, and I realize that the city is required to have money in a reserve account, but more than it's required to is sitting this in account. We know that at least $155 million more, yet their bill continues to go up. They want to know why they keep paying if, in fact, there is this reserve cash.
Yeah, a few things here. I would say that I totally understand and appreciate the frustration. And yes, we have had rate increases over the last several years, but I think it's important that the public understands that, number one, last year we had an opportunity to absorb the pass-through that we actually incurred because of the CWA and MWD.
So pass-through cost, the increased cost of water.
Is the increase of raw water cost that is passed on to us, and we actually absorb that without actually requesting a rate adjustment.
So it didn't go up yet again?
It did not.
Okay.
But the second part of this discussion is that we need to understand that we don't have $630 million sitting in the bank just doing nothing with. That's not a correct statement. We have a long list of obligations that we have to fulfill, including keeping a certain amount of reserve, which is an expense. We have no choice. We have to keep that. In addition to that, I think what the numbers do not reflect is the fact that of that $630 million that they talk about, we have awarded or at least encumbered over $178 million in obligations, meaning that we have outstanding contracts that we have to complete. And so it's not like the money has no use, and we need to be very careful in saying that we have $630 million in cash, because we don't.
We reported earlier, a couple weeks ago, that water rates may go up yet again, that the city was sort of looking at this. Is that going to be the case? Or given this information, could people expect a rollback on their water rate?
You know, I think it's premature to talk about rate increases. I think what we are doing and what the public should understand is that we are in the process of assessing our costs to make sure that the costs that we incur, we're able to cover those costs. And by that, we are doing a cost of service study to make sure that the structure is in place to recover our revenue requirement. And I don't want to prejudge it one way or the other. I suspect that at the end of the day, we'll make a recommendation to council.
Okay, Roger Bailey, thank you for being here.
Thank you.